Hello, my name is Jack Williams, and this is SkateBuddy, a community skateboarding application designed for Android and iOS mobile devices. SkateBuddy is all about learning to skate for members of the community. The application provides a service for people to find these skateboarders who will be willing to teach them, locate them, and learn. Alternatively, you might already be an experienced skateboarder and wanting to get involved further with the skateboarding community and put yourself on the map for others to find you. The application is all about learning from these people, and then you can track your tricks in your user profile page to build up your skills over time. The application also offers the ability to review other skateboarders or skate locations. The goal of this application is to learn from others and gain more community involvement. This was later refined into creating a service specifically for adults who either want to learn or want to teach, need help with a trick, or simply need someone to skate with. The issues that needed solving were that it can be quite difficult to learn to skateboard on your own, and it can be very intimidating approaching strangers at the skate park to ask for help. And finding a friendly, experienced skateboarder can be very time consuming, and in a working 9-to-5 life of a busy adult can sometimes not be possible. I'm doing this application because there is no real life client, and it was produced from my own passion of over a decade of skateboarding. I also chose to develop and produce this project as a means to further improve and develop my own skills with React Native development. The benefits of this application is it saves the users time and effort. They no longer need to go out in search of people who will be willing to teach them or help out with their new hobby, and instead they're able to find experienced, reputable skateboarders directly. That has been reaffirmed with community validation. In this section of the video, I should be talking about and demonstrating the features and functionality of SkateBuddy. Once the user has created an account and logged in, they will be brought to the skate map. The map's intended purpose is to allow users to find other skateboarders who are either willing to teach or wanting to play a game of skate, or even a place to skate. This map feature is the core feature of the application. It has been implemented using the React Native Maps npm package. This works by retrieving the user's geolocation data from their mobile device and store the coordinates into a MongoDB database. Here we can see that blue pins are the skate spots or locations. They will also have images related to the location to help verify and validate it. Users can also leave a review to validate if the spot is any good. Users can also click on the image and have a full screen photo of the spot. They can use this photo to verify for themselves if the spot is worthwhile. If they are unsure of the location, users can also switch the map type to a standard view and zoom in to get more of a spatial awareness or visual representation of what the area is actually like. Other pins in the application are such as here to teach pins and game of skate. The here to teach pins are orange. Here you can see that who the user is, the tricks that they are teaching, and the date and time in which they will be present. Users are also able to leave a review here in this section and get directions to that spot. Game of skate is very similar, although it doesn't require any description since the intention is obvious, so therefore the user, date and time is only required for this section. So now I will demonstrate the reviewing functionality. So I'm going to create a here to teach pin, but to do that we're going to need to learn some tricks by heading over to the trick book. Here on this new account, James currently doesn't have any tricks. So head over to the trick book. We'll just learn the ollie, and then I'll create a here to teach pin. Here we are. So I shall select the location. Let's pop that one just here in the park. Select what I'm going to teach. Obviously I can only ollie, so I can only teach someone else to ollie also. And we'll select the date for that. Let's say I'm busy today, so tomorrow I'm free between 12 and 1, let's say. I'm currently using a remote desktop access, so visual updates may have some latency or lag, so please bear that in mind. There we are, that's the information all filled out, and then I can submit that, and there it is there on the map, able for me to view, and I have no reviews as this is a new account, or I can then delete this. I will now switch over to a different account and leave a review on James's Here to Teach pin. So here I am opening up the app on my physical Android device. It opens up on the initial region, and I'm zooming in to find the newly created Here to Teach pin. And as we can see it there, James's pin, Here to Teach, and he's teaching an ollie. I see the time and date he's there. I can leave a review, tap on the box, and I can input a message. Very friendly to skate with. There we are. And yep, that just took a moment to appear. That was the latency of the simulator. You can also, with this, users can then validate if this is a truly intentional or meaningful review or user. You can also then get skate directions to where I am to the selected skate pin. Now I shall demonstrate how to upload a profile picture by navigating to Jack's profile, where he has reviews and some tricks already learnt, as well as his skate stance and age filled out. By simply tapping the add photo icon, I can then select to take a photo and then take a picture of my skateboard. I'll then save that, and then that now appears in the profile container. And here we are back on the remote desktop iOS simulator, back on James's profile, and here we can see that review that I've just left on the Android account from Jack has appeared here, as well as if I return back to the pin that he created, is also appearing here also. The application uses a variety of React Native dependencies to work. Some of the main core dependencies that are being used are such things as like async storage. Async storage acts as a persistent offline data bank for all the user's credentials. I use this to help validate and keep the authors signed in, so when they reopen the app, they are then automatically logged back into the application. Other dependencies are being used for components such as the date-time picker, image picker, loading spinner overlays, and modals. The modals have been chosen to use to reduce the number of clicks throughout the application, so that everything related to the skate map functionality has been displayed on top of the skate map as opposed to being navigated elsewhere. The skate pins work by filling out the required form data for each pin. For pins such as Here to Teach and Game of Skate, a date and time is required, and the way this works is the React Native front-end application will work out the time validation, and if all is valid and the time is a valid input, then this request is sent up to the Node.js API and stored within the database. The reviews for each of the pins have some slight differences between the skate spot and the Here to Teach and Game of Skate pins. When reviewing a skate spot, the review is for the spot itself, whereas as opposed to Here to Teach and Game of Skate, when you leave a review, then that review is marked on the skater themselves. The trick book of the application is used as a secondary source of information for users to source and understand some tricks that they would learning. They can either view YouTube videos provided by SkateBuddy or read the textual descriptions. The way the skate videos have been implemented was I contacted the company SkateBording, and they were more than happy to offer these videos to be used in a embedded YouTube playlist. I've made use of a npm dependency package to simply point the videos to the YouTube's API of the web reference. Uploading images to the database is one feature that was proved to be rather difficult throughout the development and took a lot of time, but was really needed in the application as it provides a very clear view of what the destination is like. The way this works is by converting the data type of the image and dividing up the string into manageable chunks that can be stored into the database on the Node.js API. I'm using Malta's Grid FS storage to randomly crypt and hex the path name of the file, and then that gets stored in two separate collections of the Mongo database. You have the ID reference with the name and identification, and also the ID to the reference of the second collection, or the chunks. Some photos can be divided up into multiple chunks, for example 7 or 8 different chunks, and when the image is called, the GFS state is passed through the express routing handlers to the image endpoints. Once it's found the correct image, it will then create a read stream and serve that to the application to view the image. The technology used in this application was React Native for the front-end JavaScript mobile native framework, Node.js and Express for the back-end API, and the Node.js application has been hosted using Heroku, a cloud-based system service. This was very good for the sort of testing and deployment process, as the Heroku was acting as the production environment. Commits to the master branch on GitHub will be picked up by Heroku, and Heroku will then clone the repository, build and install the new dependencies, and run the tests. And if the tests were successful, they will then deploy this new update to the production environment. I could then now further test the production environment by creating a APK file on the through the React Native command line interface. I would create a android.apk file and distribute that to my own device for connection whilst connecting to the Heroku production environment as opposed to a localhost development environment. Gathering a group of user testers throughout the coronavirus was very difficult. I only knew of one other person I was able to be in contact with, who was also a skateboarder. Alas, the coronavirus would make it unethical for me to ask any user testers to go out and properly test the application and put pins around the area. Therefore, the usability that was gathered from this project was minimal as a consequence of this. This has been my final year project demonstration. Thank you.